everyone, I'm back again to do another video. Today's video is going to be my July 2015 book haul. I'm excited to share with you all the books that I got over the last month. Please ignore the fan I've got going because it's still quite warm even though it's like a miserable day today. I'm going to start with the books that I got from publishers. The first two books I got are from Hodder Publishing, and the first one they sent me is a bind-up of The Love Game and Playing for Keeps by Emma Hart. I believe it's a new adult series, and on the back of this one it just says, Maddie Stevens hated Braden Carter on sight. Arrogant, egotistical, and the playboy of the University of California, Berkeley. He's everything her brother Pierce has taught her to despise. So why, when the girls challenge her to play the player, doesn't she say no? She doesn't know either, and maybe, just maybe, they're exactly what each other needs. I think this looks really good, so I'm interested to see what I think about it. And the second one Hodder sent me is Lips Touch by Laini Taylor. Laini Taylor is the author of the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and I've not yet read that, but I've heard some good things about this one, especially from Katie Tastic, and I believe it is a collection of short stories. It looks good, and I'm interested to see what this one's about. So thank you to Hodder for those two. The next one is one Macmillan sent me, and it is 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. This is an arc of the UK cover, and it's already gorgeous. I believe this is coming out on hardback on the 22nd of October. It's actually a YA retelling of Arabian Nights. This looks really, really good, and it's so pretty already. All it says on the back is the most dangerous love story ever told, so I'm very excited to have this in my possession. Thank you to Macmillan for this one. And then Mira Inc. sent me a book, and that is Monster by C.J. Skuse. Skuse? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that name, but this is also an arc, and this is released October 2015 again. And on the back of this one it says, there are things out there, real things that we need to worry about. At 16, Nash thought the biggest fight that she'd face would be the battle to become head girl of prestigious boarding school Bathory. Until her brother's disappearance leads to Nash being trapped at the school over Christmas with Bathory's assorted misfits. As a blizzard rages outside, strange things are afoot in the school's dark and dangerous hallways, and the girls will have to stick together if they hope to survive. So yes, this looks absolutely brilliant. I've heard some really good things about C.J. Skuse's writing, so I'm very pleased to have this in my collection, and I can't wait to read it. And then Quercus sent me The Lost and the Found by Clarke. This looks absolutely brilliant because I love Clarke's writing. I've read 2 books by her in the past, and I really loved both of them. They were both brilliant, so I'm really excited to really get onto this one. And it says, 13 years ago, my sister was taken. Now she is coming home. And on the back it says, can you imagine a child taken, a whole family torn apart? Slowly, over the years, the family put themselves back together, a little broken but still strong. And then the child, now all grown up, comes home. This is the story of what happens next. Yes, this looks really, really good, so thank you so much to Quercus for sending me this one. I can't wait to read it. And the last review copy I got is from Bloomsbury, and this is actually a children's book, and it is The Imaginary by A.F. Harrold, and it is illustrated by Emily Gravett. So, yes, this looks really sweet, and I hope to get around to reading this soon because I believe it was released last year. So thank you to Bloomsbury for this one. Okay, moving on to the books that I bought recently. The first one is The Heir by Kiera, and I bought this actually last month, and I actually put it on my shelf and I forgot to haul it last month, so I'm sorry about that. That is why there's a gap up the top, because I've had to take it down to show you. But this is the, it's kind of like the 4th book in the Selection trilogy, but it's kind of like a spin-off, and I'm not going to say anything else about it because I know it will ruin people who have not finished the Selection trilogy. I'm really pleased to have this finally because I love the Selection trilogy. It's not the best, but I do really, really enjoy it. And then I have Sever by DeStefano. This is the 3rd and final book in the Chemical Gardens trilogy. I've read the first one and I loved it, so I'm looking forward to getting more into this trilogy and see what happens in the 2nd and the 3rd. And then I have The Vanishing Games by Kate K. Myers. This is a horror thriller novel, and I've heard some really great things about it, and on the back it just says, Jocelyn thought Jack was dead, then he started writing her letters. And then we have Breaking Glass by Kate Amowitz, and on the back it says, on the night 17-year-old Jeremy Glass winds up in the hospital with a broken leg and a blood alcohol level well above the legal limit, his secret crush Susanna disappears. When he first begins receiving messages from her from beyond the grave, he's not sure whether they're real or if he's losing his grip on reality. Clue by clue, Jeremy gets closer to unravelling the mystery and realises that he must discover the truth or become the next victim himself. It looks brilliant. Then I have Sea of Shadows by Kelley Armstrong. I'm a big fan of Kelley Armstrong's writing, and I'm just collecting as many of her books that I can. And next is Recalled by Cambria Hebert, and it just says, love or death. Sometimes in order to love you have to die. I believe this is possibly to do with a Grim Reaper falling in love with a human, but it does look really, really good, and I'm excited to have this in my collection. And the last lot of hardbacks, I'm going to go through these as quickly as possible because I don't want this video to be too long. The first one is Elusion by Claudia, Gabel and Cheryl Klam. It says, escape to a world filled with beauty and lies. But this cover is absolutely gorgeous, and the sequel has a matching cover, which I'm very pleased about because I hate cover changes. But just take a minute to appreciate that beautiful, beautiful cover. And on the back as well, it's gorgeous as well. And then they have 17 and Gone by Nova Rem Suma. I believe this is another kind of murder mystery novel, and I love those types of books. Kiss, Crush, Collide by Christina Meredith. Not overly sure what this one is about, but it was £2 on Amazon and for a new hardback, so I've heard people say it's good, so yes, it's a contemporary. Leap of Faith by Jamie Blair. This one was on a Waiting on Wednesday post that I posted a couple of years ago, and I'm really excited to have it. It's a very short book, but it looks really good. And then I have Blind Spot by Laura Ellen. I bought this used a year or so ago, but they sent me an ARC, and I remember hauling it a while back. So when the hardcover new on Amazon was reduced to like £3.50 or something, ridiculously cheap, I thought I would get it to replace the ARC. One Past Midnight by Jessica Shervington. This is one I've heard a hell of a lot of good things about, mostly because Jessica Shervington is supposed to be a really good author, so I have a couple of ebooks by her, but I'm pleased to finally have a physical book because I get around to reading these much quicker than ebooks, so yes. The Raft by S.A. Bodine. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce their last name, but this looks really good, and it's like a survival story from what I can gather, and it's also very short, so hopefully I shall fly through this when I get round to it. Raven by Alison Van Diepen. Again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering last names here, I'm awful, I really am. Also another one that was really cheap online, so I had to get it. The Lost Code by Kevin Emerson. This is the first book in the... And the last book I have is Legacy by Molly Cochran. But this is to do with witches, and it just says magic lies within, so yes. I looked up on Goodreads and I think it looks really, really good, so I just had to pick it up, especially as, again, it was cheap. So yes, those, if I can get out of the shot, are the books that I got in the month of July and a bit of June. I'm really pleased to have all these books in my collection because I love books, I do. But yes, that's it for this video. Don't forget to leave your comments down below if you're interested in any of these books. Let me know, and let me know if you've read any of them as well, because I think they all look really, really good. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I'll have another video up for you soon. Happy reading. Bye. Messages from her from when we be here. Oh, I'm so uncomfortable. 27 weeks and a few days pregnant at the moment, and my bump is huge. It's uncomfortable. The Shadow and Bone? No. Oh. Bathory? Can't say that. Is that Herbert? Yes, Herbert. And this is the first book in the Devil Escorts now. Kiss, Crush, Collide by... Kiss, Clush, for fuck's sake. And then, I'm a sucker for cheap books, especially new ones.